In previous program we studied about function. So there are number of things to note about a function program. So first is a. In this program from function main, the values of a, comma b, comma and c are passed on to the function calsum. So they are passed to function calsum by making a call to function calsum and mentioning a, comma b and c in the parenthesis. So sum is equal to calsum a, comma b, comma c. So here we are mentioning sum is equal to function calsum. So in this function, in the calsum function, these values get collected in three variables x, y and z. So these values are collected in three variables. That means a is x, b is y and c is z now. So they are being collected in three variables. So calsum x, y, z is int x comma y comma z. So uh, these ABC values are considered by XYZ by compiler. So they are considered as XYZ. Now B, the variables A comma B comma C are called actual arguments. So ABC were actual arguments, whereas the variable X, Y and Z are called formal arguments. So X, Y and Z were formal arguments and A, B, C were actual arguments. However, type, order and number of actual and formal arguments must always be same. However, type, order, that means integer or character, then order, that is A, B, C, the X, Y, Z, that is order, and number of, that means A, B, C were 3 and X, Y, Z is also 3, that is number of actual and formal arguments must always be same. So it must always be same. Instead of using different variable names x, y and z, we could have used the same variable names a, b and c, but compiler would still treat them as different variables. So we could have used a, b and c again instead of x, y, z, but the problem is that compiler will be still treat them as different variables. So no matter we call them xyz, compiler is going to treat them as xyz, because if we call them as abc also here also in function also, but they are going to be treated different, so why not call them x, y and z? So that is why we could have used the same variable names a, b and c, but compiler would still treat them as different variables since they are in different functions, because a, b and c were in function main, but x, y and z were in function were in calsum, were in function calsum. So x, y, z are in function calsum and ABC is in main. So calsum is a different function, main is a different function. So that's why no matter what we call them, but they will be treated as different by compiler still. That is why we are calling them x, y and z. There are two methods of declaring the formal arguments. The one that we have used in our program is known as kerigen or Ritchie or K and R method, that is kerigen and Ritchie K and R method. So calsum xyz int xyz. So this is one method. Now another method is calsum int x int y int z. This method is called ANSI method and is used more commonly. So this method is called ANSI method and is used more commonly. So this is a different method in which calsum int x int y int z. So here inside function, inside that bracket, it has written that int x int y int z, but in first KNR method, calsum xyz is written first, and then separately we write int x comma y comma z. So these are two methods of it.